We have all kinds of updates to talk about with Pokemon Champions, Pokemon Legends ZA, a new breaking development for Pokemon Legends ZA, and just a few other things going on with the franchise. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with friends, comment your thoughts down below. This actually came out the day of the Pokemon Presents because it was just website and press release information about Pokemon Champions, but I don't think people know about it, or it hasn't got a lot of discussion. Pokemon Champions will be digital only and also be a paid title, not free. And there's a ton of things to unravel here, because one thing that was really confusing to me is that even career fans of mine expressed concern oh, I hope they don't make it free and then have microtransactions for competitive Pokemon, when there is literally no reason to have that thought ever. I guess everyone is just down bad and cooked, because zero evidence to even humor the idea of the possibility of that thought. There's nothing the Pokemon Company has ever done that would create the whiff of a possibility that Pokemon Champions would be pay to win if it was a completely free game. And I think that goes to a lot of gaming in general, that the vast majority of people don't understand what pay to win truly is, or how pay to win originated. It meant an advantage you could only obtain through paying, and then we get into the murkier parts of pay to skip. And the advantages that come from pay to skip vary, and if it's actually bad for competitive integrity or something, but pay to win, true pay to win elements or massive advantages from payment, we don't see inside of Pokemon. The worst was Pokemon Unite, but that was developed by Tencent, so Timmy Studios, and it's a Asian mobile MOBA game, so that makes it a little murkier. But the amount of advantage you got in Pokemon Unite from going from level 20 items to level 30 for the amount of money you spent was negligible and didn't affect any games or have any application to the start of Pokemon Unite. And the people that were saying oh, it's pay to win, look, I bought this item and I spent $100 and now I'm stomping everyone. It's well, no, that's skill diff. Two, likely a bot game, because even ranked is seeded with bots up until Ultra Ball tier, even back then. And on the flip side for Pokemon Unite, emblems are disabled for official competitions, so any advantages that can be gained that way from just an egregious amount of dedication and playing the game, just RNG elements make it to where your build is worse because you didn't spend enough money for some kind of bonus, or you just haven't played enough and then you got unlucky. That doesn't exist in even competitive Pokemon Unite. So Pokemon Champions, most likely, if not certainly, becoming the hub for VGC and competitive Pokemon video games. And there's still nothing to go off of that there should be fear about any money ruining the competitive integrity of Pokemon Champions, especially because the Pokemon Company knows that would destroy the entire future of Pokemon esports. And even the most greedy of companies don't have that in their esports titles as well. And when you really try to break down, oh, Game Freak is greedy, or oh, the Pokemon Company is so greedy, it makes no sense in every way, because if the Pokemon Company or Game Freak were truly greedy, we would have gotten Generation 5 remakes. They would give us what the fan base is crying for. Instead, they took the least profitable main series with Pokemon Legends and then took away all the potential of Pokemon Z version, which would be a 25+ million selling main series Pokemon title like we've seen for Sword and Shield and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But with Pokemon Legends Arceus, they gave us a tech demo. And then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl had to walk so Pokemon Legends Arceus could trip and skin its knee, which means the potential of the Generation 4 remake everyone was looking for got hampered. So not even the sales combined of Pokemon Legends and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl really made up for not just doing the ultimate Sinnoh adventure, also taking a year off. If the Pokemon Company was greedy, then we get Pokemon Legends already, either January 2024, or they rush it out for November, December. It's yo, 15 million people are buying this anyway, so it doesn't matter how bad it is. But no, we're going a year without a game. It's the wrong choice for profit for a Pokemon game, and it just kind of disrupts everything else that we've seen. And if we're going back to mobile games or free games with microtransactions or whatever, Pokemon Quest. If the Pokemon Company just wants tens of millions of dollars straight into their bank account overnight, all they have to do is localize Pokemon Adventure in China, give us Pokemon Quest 2, then they do the same thing where it's here's $30 in bundles you buy, and they're going to make a ludicrous amount of profit for that for virtually no work. So if the Pokemon Company actually only cared about money, there would be so much more microtransaction-filled shovelware. I'm not even calling Pokemon Quest that. They have the non-shovelware game that would just print tens of millions of dollars, and they don't touch it. And then none of the other things are also, like, egregiously monetized. And even Pokemon Go, last year they nerfed remote raid passes. So instead of having uncapped raid passes that whales could just spend whoever knows how much money, now they're more expensive, but they're also capped. But they have better rewards, and you can get remote raid passes for free. So I'm pretty sure that's profit negative because they wanted the game integrity to go up. That's not what a greedy company does. They don't say, hey, we actually want you to go outside and participate in the community instead of sit at home and spend $50 a day on remote raid passes. And don't get me started on the Pokemon TCG. This is what the Pokemon Center website looks like. Everything is sold out. And while I know that, like, Pokemon does reprints and is upping print runs, they could print to demand, or they could just have it to where, like, yo, it's pre-order, everything's going to be on backfill, but eventually you will get your pack if you wanted it. The Pokemon Company is just letting scalpers take half their profit, but no, Pokemon Champions, I'm worried is going to be pay to win. And none of that even matters because it's actually going to be a paid title. And that makes it really interesting because this might be the anti-greed play where you think like, oh, they make Pokemon Champions like a $60 game or something. But if it's digital only and it's on mobile, a paid mobile game, is there any reference? Because I don't follow like everything Nintendo has published where it's like, what is the most expensive paid mobile game that Nintendo has made, if they've even made one? So like, what's the cap on this game? 20 bucks? Are they actually just going to be mad lads and make it like $10 for the base development cost? Because all it is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet assets in a Pokemon Sword and Shield arena. And then you just put in like some competitive hub stuff. This game should have been released on Pokemon Day. I'm pretty sure a team of 5 modders could build this maybe even better with like more Pokemon Showdown style features in like 5 months, 6 months. So with the Pokemon Company, it's like, yeah, if they had this idea yesterday, they can get it out before Pokemon Legends ZA. And also that'd be really interesting because then it just makes like whatever competitive Pokemon stuff is going on a lot more accessible, where it's like $20, you now have the official Pokemon Showdown, but we don't know. The Pokemon Home integration kind of weirds me out on how much hacking is still going to matter and stuff. But we don't know. And I don't really like have any fears. I'm not like, oh no, it's going to be a $60 game and no one's going to play it and no one can afford it. The mobile side makes the pricing kind of weird. And then Nintendo Switch Online membership makes sense for the online play, and it's digital. And also, that makes me wonder, like, how much Battle Revolution is there just going to be some kind of weird little story that doesn't matter, that, like, trains you how to play competitive Pokemon, or it's like a battle facility or something. So there's actually going to be game content there that you're paying $20, $30 for? What is an alt spin-off title worth that isn't like a hard main series game? Which is another weird thing about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Charging full price for that is a crime. So yeah, my personal bigger issue with Game Freak and the Pokemon Company is that they don't have the correct priorities, and I don't trust them to do everything in the ideal or optimal way. But I don't see any greed in their hearts because they are just kind of like doing the weird incompetent stuff. Like not investigating the Pokemon Company International for letting people like Wolfe Glick cheat at VGC. 2023 should have been like, okay, that's a wake-up call. We're cleaning it up. Chris Brown, you are immediately fired for not getting a handle on this, especially if the cover-up about Internationals 2023 was true and like the entire top... It was either the entire top 4 or the entire top 8 all had like enough hacked Pokemon that got flagged to be removed, which is why Worlds was so devastating. So if any of that turns out to be true, it's like, Chris Brown, you're done. Scott Glaza, you're done. Cybertron, you're done. Like, how they didn't just clean up there, I don't know. No battle replays, no Pokemon Quest 2, Pokemon Legends ZA instead of a Z version, taking a year off for no reason, no Pokemon Let's Go Johto, or Pokemon Let's Go Unova. Like, I'd be more happy with that than ZA. And then everything else about Pokemon Champions is just a really big question mark for me. Like, how much is it going to cost? Like, hopefully it's 30. If they keep it to 20, that would be, like, pretty awesome and pretty ideal. And then the release date needs to be summer, but I don't trust it. Like, I don't trust Game Freak to actually do the right thing by Pokemon anymore, especially after they kicked out Junichi Masuda. And yet they didn't even do any of that for profit. They just did it out of, like, cultural weirdness and stuff. I don't know. So next up, we got Pokemon Legends ZA news. According to the Japanese Pokemon website, Legends ZA launches in fall 2025, a bit earlier than our usual winter releases. So yeah, another fumbling for Pokemon Legends is saying late. Like, this is the year. And I guess, like, we didn't see with Pokemon Sun and Moon, oh, it's coming out in November on the Pokemon Day February announcement. But this is like a year off of a Pokemon game. No trailer, no gameplay, no updates about Legends ZA. Late is way too weird. Fall means people are speculating, oh, they release it in October to kind of honor what happened with Pokemon X and Y. That's a little better than November. I would like to see it in September. That would be pretty cool as well. So yeah, late versus fall versus the timing. And then we just have, like, still no news or information about the games. That's kind of rough. And then talk about, like, oh, kicking out Junichi Masuda. Been revealed that ZA is being directed by some new guy I've never even heard about. I mean, like, wow, I don't like him. I also don't like that dude with the white hair that they have doing the Pokemon Presents. Like, the Neo Game Freak developers are why everything is so weird and doesn't make sense. So this dude joined Game Freak in 2013 after departing Level 5. Okay, I guess. I mean, we had things like Genius Sonority, and that's what made Pokemon Battle Revolution. We got some spillover. But, like, yo, I only want the old guard. I only want Masuda, Morimoto, and Sugimori directing or having heavy impact in game, not someone that joined in 2013. And then they led the overworld visuals for Legends Arceus and Scarlet Violet, and he's directing now. Also, here's another weird thing that came out early and got some discussion, but it's, like, worth, now that we're, like, catching up on everything that's happened the last couple of weeks. E10 Plus on Legends ZA. Now, I'm always confused. People are like, yeah, Pokemon needs to at least grow up with its audience or do something for the older fans. But then they kind of take it way too far and want it, like, way too dark or more teen into adult to kind of, like, keep up with where their age is, and that doesn't feel right. And then also there's just, like, complete outrage when something like Pal World happens. So I don't know about that. And it is weird, like, oh, people said Pokemon Legends Arceus, that's the game that was for the older fans and was for the grown-ups, even though that's, like, that is more of a baby child game than Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And that also got an E. So what does E10 Plus look like? And when you think about game sales, like, of the 26 million sales for Scarlet and Violet or Sword and Shield, when you see, like, oh, no one plays the competitive ladder, no one plays VGC, all that stuff is dead, anything, like, beyond the post-game, like, is it 20 million? Just, like, straight up children just default having their parents buy them the Pokemon game? Because the community engagement versus the sales does not line up by the numbers unless it's like, yeah, actually you need to just cut out 75% off the top because that's kids under the age of 10 right there. Now, I don't think E10 Plus, like, kills that demographic because parents are still going to buy and not feel too uncomfortable. But, like, not having a raw E rating, that's got to cost millions of sales right there. And it only shows, like, fantasy violence. Like, what could possibly be more violent about Pokemon Legends ZA when there's, like, some hard-hitting weird moments in the main series Pokemon games? Or maybe it's actually just a nothing burger and the live battling just appears more violent. Or maybe there could be a very hard story beat in there where it's like, yeah, we are trying to rebuild after some dude tried to kill everyone. And there's a lot of death and destruction in there, for sure. And even with Pokemon Legends Arceus, Cylene's like, oh good, you're not dead. That's not enough for an E10 Plus rating. That's children's cartoon stuff. So, yeah, the rating, I think people are trying to go weird with it. Or it could just be like a small little thing off to the side, kind of like how, oh, this character in this game has a cigar, therefore it's immediately teen because of drugs and alcohol. Now, it's not happening in Pokemon Legends, but something similar. Where it's like, oh yeah, one part for the story gets too edgy, and that's it. It's not that the game was made that way. And then there's, like, anime stuff going on, but I kind of don't even care at this point, sadly, because we had, like, the Terra leak and a lot of things about that. Also just upcoming anime stuff and how we got Shiny Zygarde in the anime. Was Pokemon Legends ZA supposed to be released now? And then, like, all of that lines up. Same thing for, like, trying to track the release dates of the Pokemon TCG sets and stuff. those are a lot easier to just kind of go, hey, push back the mega set, push up some kind of like trainer set, and then we can just do that, as opposed to entire anime production. And now there's some kind of mega arc coming to the anime, which just kind of makes sense. I think it's really cool that this kid has a Sableye and a Mega Sableye. That is now like my spiritual Pokemon trainer in the anime. I'm down with that and very happy to see that. But also I think it's one of those things where like there's just so much fake information and fake leaks, where I think it was initially reported like that's going to be the new anime series or something. And then you wonder, like, how much the anime has to completely shift or tie in because of Pokemon Legends. I don't follow the anime at all anymore, because that's just, like, that's just how jaded the Pokemon Company for never promoting their games or having, like, it's not 2016 anymore, and that makes me so sad, where I wanted everything. I wanted everything about the anime and the toys and the upcoming games just to kind of feel like how hyped Pokemon is. We used the anime and a toy line to predict Dusk Lycanroc back in 2017. That's never happening again, and it gets even worse and more clouded with all the fake leaks. So I'm like, wait, does he have a shiny Lucario in the anime? And that's why we got like the event in Scarlet and Violet. So naturally it just becomes Mega. And then there was some like fake Centro leak reporting. It's like, oh, new anime to go with Pokemon Legends ZA. And then there's things in the Terra leak that may or may not matter about it. I don't know. Pokemon Legends ZA looks trash, so it's hard to kind of get excited about that. And there's too many question marks around Pokemon Champions to have me get excited yet. So that's our Pokemon update. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.